Meantime, the results of the latest CNBC All-America Survey are officially out, and Steve Leisman joins us now with some of the details. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Andrew. Yeah, President Joe Biden's approval rating slipping sharply into negative territory in the third quarter CNBC All-America Economic Survey as Americans soured on his economic leadership, lost some confidence in his handling of the coronavirus, and they grew increasingly concerned about the inflation and supply shortages that show up in our poll. Biden's approval rating fell from 48% last quarter to 41% now, and disapproval rising 7 points to 52%. So those numbers, put them together, they put Biden's net approval rating 11 points underwater. His economic approval now 14 points negative. He still has a positive rating on his handling of the coronavirus, but that's declined as well. Still +5, though. Compare with other presidents at the end of their first year, Biden just slightly above where Donald Trump was, but well below Presidents Obama and Clinton, not showing Bush there. He had this huge rating following 9/11 at this time. These numbers come after a quarter that saw a surge in the virus, a surge in inflation, the rise of labor and supply shortages that our poll shows Americans have clearly noticed, and an agenda that stalled in Congress. Just 43% of the 800 respondents support a Democratic-controlled Congress. That compares to 41% looking for Republican control. 16% are unsure. Democrats, they need a 5 to 10-point lead in this measure, and because of the political map, need a lead that large to maintain control. Biden and Democrats, they're clearly going to have to change the economic outlook to turn these numbers around, and they have a lot of work to do. 46% say they expect the economy to get worse in the next year. That is the worst level in the 13-year history of the poll. Very surprising to me. The rise in the cost of living, now seen as the biggest concern in the country, tied with the coronavirus. 60% of Americans say they've noticed supply shortages. Andrew?
So, what was the biggest surprise to you? I mean, you just mentioned that item, but
I'm surprised at how negative things are. And honestly, Andrew, we sit here in this little sort of bubble that we're in of the stock market. We see the stock market's up and it's high and it's doing okay. And Americans clearly are hurting by this inflation and by supply shortages.
Right.
And that has turned their views sharply negative. I expected to see negative numbers. I didn't expect to see some of the worst polling numbers that we've registered in the 13 years that I've been doing this every quarter.